welcome to the Trident Network. If this is your first time here, you are in a fun place. The Trident Network is a three-pronged digital entertainment network that features podcasts, live shows here on Twitch, and filmed videos, which includes web series, which is why we're here tonight. So tonight is our first ever fundraiser show, and we are doing this because one of our tenets here at Trident is that we try to lower as many barriers to entry and make creating art as accessible as possible to people. And so when Dix, the creators of Dix, came to us, we were really excited to try and do just that for them. And you may or may not know this, but making any kind of film or web series or anything that requires a lot of equipment and people and time is expensive. And so today we are specifically fundraising to cover Dick's post-production costs, which means like their editing and their mixing, sound mixing, and all of that good stuff that happens after you actually finish filming, to make the final product that you will see on your YouTube screens when you watch their web series, which is going to be released next month. So please help them out. It's an expensive process. It's a time-consuming process, but it's a necessary process to make something great, which they are in the process of making. So if you can't support monetarily for whatever reason, no judgment at all, thank you so much for being here anyway. You can support them, with love and with watching the series when it comes out. So without further ado, I will get off your screen and introduce you to the team behind Dix. Hi guys, introduce yourselves.
I'm Nolan Skates. I play Bruce in the series.
I'm Rebecca Schramm. I play Laura.
And I'm Tommy Spears. I play Terry.
So this is the project we've been working on for the last year and a half. We actually, Tommy wrote this pilot episode that we're about to read here.
Back in March of 2020.
The weekend everything shut down, actually.
We really thought we were about to make this.
Yeah, we really did. And then...
So wrong.
We did shoot the pilot about 6 months later in August. It's mostly just us three, so we felt like it was safe enough. And then we spent the next couple months filming only the scenes that were just us three. We're like outside with one other person. And then we took a couple-month break until we all got our vaccines, and we are almost done. We have a couple shooting days left, and then big editing burst, and then we will have this premiered for you at the end of August. Hooray!
Super excited about it.
The summary of the series tagline. Tommy was our main writer here. And Nolan and I also wrote a couple other episodes.
Sorry, I was supposed to say the tagline?
I don't know. A summary.
Yeah, let me summarize real quick. It's about, I think, millennials, who are sort of like cast out of their normal lives. They're in a new situation, trying to figure out what to do with themselves, and they start a detective agency because one of them has a very like noiry 1940s detective fantasy, really of himself. Yeah. And it gets us into all sorts of trouble, all sorts of shenanigans.
Yes, shenanigans. Yeah. Is it a fantasy or is it more of a delusion?
Ooh. That's more of like a mental health question. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not qualified to answer that.
That is a little bit what we tackle in the final episode, right?
Let's not spoil too much.
No spoilers to this web series. That's about it. And we will be answering more questions, all of your burning cues. We have the A's. But for now, we're going to be reading the pilot just for you, which you can also watch in August. It's July now. Next month will be August.
We should probably also have our friends introduced, or should we?
Yes.
Do you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Sure. Yeah.
Laura, why don't you start?
Okay. I was waiting. Freddie started, so I was going to wait. Hello. My name is Laura Petro, and I have been directing some of the episodes of Dix.
Yay.
We're very great.
And I'm Frederick Powers. I pop up in a couple episodes of the show. once you don't see me, you hear me, which will be this pilot. And then once you see me but don't hear me for most of it because of reasons.
Wow, that's really funny. Yeah.
We decided we only wanted one thing at a time.
Yeah,
no, I totally
Too
get
much
that.
Freddy.
It's a lot to have at the same
In
time.
fact,
so.
I would like to not see you even socially like this again. Like,
No, I get
either
that.
you're
I get
talking or
that.
you're going to be there. Okay.
This will be the last time we interact as humans.
Seen or heard. It's your pick, but it's
Yeah,
one.
and we're shooting next weekend too, so it's gonna make it really hard.
But anyway, should we just dive right in?
Yeah.
Or would you say?
No,
more?
sure. Yeah.
All right. Am I starting this for us all?
Would
yes.
you start and read the
Yes,
stage
Laura.
directions?
I would love to, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Interior Terry's apartment day. We opened on an apartment kitchen on Chicago's north side. Bottles and cans litter the ground. A cell phone is ringing. The camera pans over a photograph of Terry and Megan looking happy. Megan has had devil horns drawn on her. The camera passes by Bruce, sleeping on the hallway floor, cradling a bong like a lover. He rolls over as the camera passes, as though to acknowledge it. The camera enters the bedroom, where the floor is covered in wrappers. Terry's asleep on the floor, wearing a suit and tie but no shirt, with a mustache drawn on him. The cell phone is ringing loudly next to his head. He moans. Finally, it stops. He sits up, observes his surroundings hazily.
What day is it? Bruce, what day is it?
It's Monday.
Monday. It can't be Monday. What happened to Sunday? It's Sunday.
It's not Sunday. Sunday was yesterday. Remember you kept trying to get me to leave Eau Claire's and sneak a flask into mass?
That actually happened?
No, I had a Catholic guilt dream about you. Of course it happened.
You said you were going to take me to the dog track. You said you knew a guy who always picked big winners.
No, I said we should go to the horse track because I know a guy there who makes hot dogs and always sells big wieners.
You sure it's Monday?
Check your phone.
My phone died.
Well, I'm positive it's Monday.
On screen, Thursday.
My mouth tastes like an ashtray.
Yeah, you ate a ton of cigarettes last night.
Title card, Dick's. Cut to interior apartment kitchen 30 minutes later. Terry enters, hair wet, fresh suit on and tie, mustache gone. He is tightening his tie. Bruce is cleaning up cans and making coffee.
That's the worst bender I've ever been on.
I know. Can't even remember what we were drinking for in the first place.
Terry gives him a look.
Seriously, dude?
What? Oh, right, because Megan broke up with you after you proposed to her and then she confessed she was cheating on you. Like a lot. Oh, should I not have brought that up? The fact that Megan broke up with you after cheating?
No, you shouldn't have brought that up, Bruce. Do you remember anything from last night?
A quick flash of them in the alley. Bruce is throwing up and Terry is assisting.
Oh, yeah, did I save your life?
Wait, I think I saved your life.
Flash of the same alley. This time Terry is throwing up and Bruce is assisting. Both Bruce and Terry jump because they didn't see or hear Laura come in.
You're both wrong.
Oh.
Flash to the alley a third time. This time both Bruce and Terry are throwing up while Laura is texting.
And I saved your lives. Well, I was gonna.
You've been here this whole time?
We gotta pay better attention, dude.
Terry picks up his cell from the counter where it was charging, begins to check his voicemail, plugging one ear.
Come on, Terry, buddy. It's gonna be fine. We'll find you somebody new. What are you into? You into eyebrows?
Dude, not now.
New message.
Hey Terry, it's Leonard from work. Just wondering if we're gonna see you today. So, call me back.
New message.
Terry, it's Leonard from Lifelong Mutual. Now I understand taking personal time, but this really chaps my ass. You're a claims investigator. We need you here investigating claims. If you don't...
New message.
Terry, buddy, if you get down here right now, I'll take you out to lunch. Anywhere you want to go. So give me a call back. This is Leonard.
New message.
I don't know, man. You think you've got a good boss-employee relationship, you try to do right, host a good company picnic. What does it all matter? I mean, in the end, you still die alone. We all still die alone.
New message.
Terry, it's Cynthia from HR. You've been on no call, no show for 4 days, so we're going to have to let you go. You can come and collect your last paycheck as soon as Leonard leaves for therapy. Terry hangs up the phone.
Well, looks like I don't have to go in today. Or ever again.
Damn, man. I'm sorry. I know the feeling, though. It's hard for an actor. I feel like I'm always in between jobs.
You're not an actor, Bruce. You're just unemployed. You're lucky your parents are rich.
Hey, I'm going to hear from one of my agencies I submitted to. Eventually. And please don't tell them I actually haven't been on Peaky Blinders.
Again, you're lucky they can't understand British accents.
Wait, what's today's actual date?
It's the 5th.
Shit. I told Megan I'd have my stuff out of here by tonight.
Ugh. I can help, but I am going to complain the whole time.
It's okay. We can get out of here in like an hour, tops. Come on.
Cut to interior the same. Terry is packing suits into a suitcase and boxing up many, many ties. Bruce is packing up office stuff.
You know, man, this is probably for the best, right? You didn't need her. Or that job. Or this place to live. Where are you staying anyway?
Thanks.
You're a licensed investigator? Like a detective?
Sort of. Not really.
Well, which is it? Sort of or not really?
It used to be required for insurance claims investigators. They paid for me to get licensed right when I started.
But it's the same license as for a PI.
Yes, and claims investigation is not lame.
I didn't say it was.
I could feel it coming.
Wait a minute. No. Wait, we could.
What's going on?
No, he's thinking. Give him a second. He's never done it before.
We should open a detective agency.
What?
Why?
Can't you see? It's fate. Fate that you had this license laying around. Fate that we're both out of work at the same time.
It's not really fate since you're unemployed.
That's semantics. Look, you're missing the point. You and me, we could be two-fisted, ride-swilling, gun-toting private eyes.
Yeah, because swilling rhyme worked out so well for you lightweights last night.
You're getting all that from this license? This authorized me to evaluate car crashes. And a gun license, that's like a whole second thing.
So we get a few pieces of paperwork signed. How hard could it be?
It's very hard, Bruce.
Well, I don't care if it's hard. I like it when it's hard.
That's what she said, Dibs. That's what she said.
Bruce, you're my friend. So please hear me when I say this. That's a dumb idea and you're dumb for having had it. My whole life just blew up in my face. I don't have time to play detective with you, okay? I gotta figure out whatever comes next.
He begins to exit with suitcases. Bruce stops him.
Wait, but what if this is what comes next? Just picture it with me.
Through the joint smoke, we fade to a noir-style office. Bruce sits with his feet up on a desk, a small fan whirring on him. He is wearing suspenders with a shirt and tie. His sleeves are rolled up. On the desk is a fedora, a bottle of rye and 2 glasses, and an ashtray with a bunch of cigarettes going all at once. Terry enters, 40s style suit, very buttoned up and hyper. He removes his fedora, places it down on the desk.
I got a hot lead on the Matheson case, Bulldog. Oh, we got him on the ropes now.
Well, that's just bully. Let's have a bell to ride to celebrate, and I'll type up the report.
Oh, well, what the hell? It's 2 p.m. somewhere.
Bruce begins to type and to narrate in voiceover.
It was a hot day. Damn hot. Kind of day that drives a man mad. I was thinking about that lead that Dutch had brought in. He was a man capable of crazy things. During the war, he had been one of Dewey's floating tigers, the craziest squadron and the 3rd craziest fleet in the entire Coast Guard.
Angle on Terry is Dutch, cleaning a gun, looking menacing.
I was just beginning to wonder if old Dutch had finally snapped. That's when she walked in.
The office door opens and a beautiful woman, Laura, enters. The men stand and put on their fedoras. Laura pulls a previously unseen fedora from out of frame and puts it on her head.
You two a couple of Seamuses?
Well, we ain't circus clowns, sister.
Good, because I'm behind the hay ball and ahead of the knife, and I can't go to the bulls.
Well, flap gums, doll.
Laura produces a cigarette from her purse. Bruce lights it.
Here. Pretty girls don't light their own cigarettes.
He produces a cigarette. Terry lights it.
Pretty boys don't either.
Ugly boys should get the chance too. Now listen, I had a dime put down in the bangtails, and the jockey just turned up in a Chicago overcoat,
Clipped?
like a newspaper. And I'm gonna need a couple of hard-nosed, square jaws to find the boy holding the heater.
Our rates are steep, lady.
Everest,
Kilimanjaro.
you bring in my man, and you can take a golden bath with a silver towel.
Oh, I wouldn't worry. We're the best dicks in the biz. Dicks in the biz. Dicks in the biz.
We hold on Terry for a moment and then shift from black and white to color in the actual office. It is dingy and is clearly in an apartment. Bruce is typing on a laptop.
Bruce, I appreciate you setting up this office, but I do have to sleep in this room, you know.
Relax. I put up a cot for you in the corner.
Cut to, in the corner, a sad-looking folding army cot with one pillow and newspapers for blankets.
I'm putting up our ad on Craigslist. How does this sound? 2 hard-working dicks willing to get down and dirty, reasonable rates. Ask for Bruce.
B.
Perfect.
Great, because I already put it up on our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I tagged you.
Oh, good. So Megan can see. And my mom. So we'll all know who's winning this breakup.
Laura enters with a bottle of rye, begins to pour shots.
I got something to celebrate, and I'm using the term celebrate very loosely.
Terry, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
The camera pulls wide as though it is about to be over.
What do you mean beginning? We've been friends for like 12 years.
Well, I guess tomorrow is another day.
But it's the middle of the afternoon.
Looks like the odds are about to
Stop trying to last line us.
Gotcha.
And
Hooray.
Yay.
Great job, everybody.
Oh, thank you. We read it.
Yeah.
I also
And
wrote it,
we,
but like in a feud state.
You did a great job too. And we raised during your reading another $45.
Thank you very much.
Wait, that's more than minimum wage.
It's more than I made today. I don't know about you.
Not me.
Yeah, thank you so much to the people who donated. And if you just got here, the link to Dix's PayPal is in the chat. So you are more than welcome to donate at any point during the rest of the show. We are going to now transition to the Q&A. So if you have any questions for the group, please feel free to hit them up with those questions in the chat, and I will ask them of them. So we'll go ahead and switch over. Hi.
Hey, she's back.
I'm back.
Hooray.
I don't have object permanence yet, so I got really scared when you
Yeah,
left.
you forgot that she was existed.
Yeah.
I was a disembodied voice for a good part of that. All right. Well, so far, no one's typed in any questions, but have no fear. I have a million.
Lovely.
So I would love to know, just first of all, how did this particular idea come to pass? Like, are you a fan of noir, Tommy, or like what was the impetus for this?
Well, I am a big fan of noir, and I was a big fan. I read, like, actually, it was weird. The fall going into pandemic, I read like 2 Raymond Chandler novels right in a row when all this noir was coming under TCM. But the story of how this started is a little different. It's kind of a funny one.
So actually it was at a party that Laura threw. We all came dressed up, and we all took a picture together where they were both wearing suits and I was just wearing like a dress, and I posted it to Instagram and said it was like all of our last names start with S, so it was like Skates, Strom and Spears Detective Agency, opening soon.
You made fun of me when I walked in and said I looked like a detective because I had on a raincoat and a hat.
Well, I don't think it was Megan. I remember seeing you and be like, did you say that or did I?
Maybe you said it.
Maybe you said it.
I was like, you look like a detective because he like walked in out of the rain.
Yeah,
took off his-
He was holding a bottle of whiskey too.
I remember
Yeah.
being insulted, but not by whom. So I forget, but I don't forgive.
Yeah, it was a compliment.
Either way, so it was an Instagram post that we were like, oh, should we actually do this? And then like, there are a lot of projects that people are like, oh, we should start this thing.
Yeah.
Well, we actually started it.
You did it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you started it, but you started it at a weird time. So what sort of kept you going during, the pandemic when you had to kind of take a hiatus?
I think it was kind of, I know this sounds weird. It was kind of this a little bit like this was our thing that we could do. It wasn't just for fun. We're like, okay, if anything, we'll film the pilot and see if we want to keep making it.
Or like,
yeah,
but
and
I
just
mean-
kept writing like a bunch of episodes. And,
Well, for me, a big part of it was we had hung out, I think, that weekend and like talked characters, and then I emailed you guys a pilot like a couple weeks later after we'd been in lockdown.
Oh, it was like a couple days.
yeah,
later.
it was a couple days.
Oh,
It was
okay.
not a couple weeks. Yeah, it was a couple days.
I'm faster than I think. All right.
Yeah.
But
I think
I'm
it
an
was-
incredible writer. I'm so fast, even I don't believe it. No, but
yeah. Well, it was.
But for me, I was living alone at the time, so like I wanted to be with people.
Yeah, it was more
These
like
people.
it was less. How did we keep this going? It's more this kept us going.
That was good.
Aw.
Maybe I should be a writer. I should
Take my thing.
no.
Tommy, I think you might have just answered this, but someone just asked, how long did it take to write?
Okay, but it's sort of interesting. I think if I'm remembering right now, we had like what, like a 3-hour.
It was like,
kind
hey,
of
let's
bull
just
sesh
hang out and brainstorm.
and like fleshed out. I think the only thing we really got for that was I was like, well, I'll play a really tense guy because that's right in my wheelhouse, and then you two be siblings, and that was like all we figured out.
Yeah.
And
Even
then-
though Tommy and I look more alike than normal
We did not
actors.
we
consider
look
it at
nothing
all.
alike, yeah, at all.
But
It's fine. The woman we cast as my mom actually does
Just
a lot. MJ, you're great. Thank you.
Literally awesome.
but then I think it took like what, 4 days maybe, or less than that. Do you think?
It took. Oh, I just flipped everybody off an accident. It
Oh,
was
damn
two. Sorry about that. That was an accident. It was 2 days to write the pilot, and then we each did a pass.
2 days?
Yeah, it was 2 days, and then we took
Boy.
and then we each took like a pass at it, and just kind of kept
Yeah.
passing it back and forth for
Yeah.
like a couple.
I know
weeks.
that this is answering a different question, but originally they had this whole montage sequence of them going to all these bars and drinking stuff.
Well, we
and,
wrote it
like it was like 11 different locations.
It was after I saw like a post that from like Second City or IO that was like, see y'all in 3 weeks. So
Right.
we really thought that was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Although I think I'm less of a writer and I'm more of a practical editor, whereas I'll be like, we can't actually film at 12 locations. This will be 2. And yeah, I
You cut a lot of stunts and explosions as
Yeah.
well.
sorry, we didn't get to see that. So I remember the only thing that I know that I wrote in the pilot was the sequence of you guys throwing up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I cut it down from
it's a good bit.
almost jumping off a bridge. I think was part of it at one point.
And I wrote the line, well, which is it? Sort of or not really. I was really proud of that line. I don't know
I
why.
think it plays. I think it plays.
That's
But yeah,
great.
sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I sort of knew this was gonna happen when I wrote that and gave that to them, and I was like, well, I wrote this in, I guess, apparently 2 days. I thought it was like a week.
I literally was like, what?
But,
Already?
No, me, yeah.
But I was like, this probably won't happen. But then the next time we met in person, you both brought scripts you'd written, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's on.
It took us, I think, like 6 or so months to write. We wrote 10 episodes, in some drafts that didn't end up becoming episodes, but we had 10.
I thought we had 12 originally, didn't we?
Maybe,
Or
I don't
we
know.
wanted to do
We
12,
wanted to do
and then
12,
we're like,
but
this
the-
is crazy.
Look, I make ideas. I don't remember them.
The arc made more sense with 10 episodes. Also, we only filmed 9. I wrote an episode that would have been
We're
too-
over answering the
too
question. Let's let him
expensive.
chime
It
in.
was- yeah,
That's great. It's
sorry.
great answers. So we have a question that all of you, including Laura, can answer. What is each of your favorite moment from being on set?
Long pause because there is no favorite.
It's
Well-
hard. There's been so many good set moments.
Well, you
did
one recently
Did I?
when you walked into Anna's.
Oh yeah. Okay. We film. It's spoilers. We have a huge. We have a couple like other noir sequences in other episodes, but in one episode we have a long silent movie sequence that Tommy wrote, and it's one thing that I was very worried about shooting because there were so many people involved, and that's a lot of logistics for the times we're in right now. But there was we were all meeting at someone's apartment because we were shooting on their roof, spoiler alert. And I was getting something from the car, but everybody had already gone and we'd given them their costumes. And I like walked in the room and everybody was already changed in their costumes. And it was just sort of a moment I was like, oh, this is going to work. Everybody looked so fun and whimsical.
You stepped into Oz,
And
basically.
no, for real, it felt because also I hadn't been in a room with that many people in a while either. So it was just sort of a nice moment of like, of everything coming together, of
Movie
like,
magic.
Months of planning. And it was a good feeling.
That's awesome.
Because also I just dropped my keys down an elevator shaft, so I was
That's,
feeling
it was a
not
long,
good.
it was a long, rough day, but we got a lot done.
We did.
For me, there was a day we shot entirely in a closet, and so like my legs killed at the end of that. But like just being tight with you guys, I feel like at every time I take it, we cracked up.
Well, yes, and that was
ridiculous.
another fun moment on set that day because we were standing outside just getting some air, taking a break, and this is gonna maybe be a little harshly political. No, I'm
alienate
kidding.
them.
No.
Alienate them.
No, but we were outside, and then I was like telling a story, and then Tommy just said, "Shut up," and I was like, "What?" And he just said, "Shut up," and I was like, "Did I?" And he was like, Joe Biden just won. They just announced Joe Biden as president.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow! And then we're like, all right, let's get in this closet and film this scene.
I just remember what I did.
It's
You remember?
and
I
Tommy took
threw
off his
my
shirt.
iPhone onto the deck and took off my shirt and ran inside. It was a weird moment for all of us.
That's such a
Sorry,
fun
Mom,
memory.
we're getting political.
About shirt removal?
No, about
Yeah, about Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
I'm pro shirt removal. Roast me.
Yeah, Laura, but
What are you-
yeah.
I'll say one of probably my favorite moments was just because I think her name was Lydia, the woman in charge of the Tuscan Hen Market. Like going
Yes.
into that day, we were shooting outside and it was raining the entire day. And we were like, well, great. And she had like just set up, because she's the restaurant owner, just an entire like tent that we could just shoot under. And she was giving us this patio space for like free. And she was just like so excited and so nice. Like anything we needed, she was just like there. And it ended up being just like a super fun, chill day, just because all we had to do was just sit in the back of this patio and have fun with that. So I really like doing that day.
That was
Yeah.
fun, and probably because she gave it for free, we should mention the Tuscan
Yeah,
Hen. The
Tuscan
Hen.
Tuscan Hen, if
Yeah.
you want Italian, very good. The Tuscan
Yeah.
Hen.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
make pasta from scratch.
Southport and something.
No, it's like Damon, Lincoln,
And
And
Irving.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Hit up the Tuscan.
Go there, delicious. Yeah,
Yeah,
frequent that. I think they're doing a tour of Italy all summer. You get different regions. A lot of fun.
Lots of fun.
I will say we do have
Doing a long
we do
plug
have a
for the Tuscan Hen.
we do have a take of her walking in and taking pictures.
She like
which
came
is
out and was
really-
like taking pictures.
Oh.
And then I was like, all right, I'll go ask her to not be in the frame. Because
she-
she was
she
so
was so
nice.
great.
And she
So
goes, oh,
nice.
you don't want me in it? And I'm like, that's
No,
not what I
that's
mean.
not what it means.
It's like, but it's just for continuity. And she was like, okay. And I was like, she doesn't.
They really treat you
Well,
like
I know.
stars at the Tuscan Hen.
Another moment. We filmed outside. We filmed inside the music box and also outside. But we filmed outside there first, like a couple weeks before we were actually filming inside. So we hadn't like rented it or anything. But it was really early in the morning, and like we were shooting, and then somebody came out, and we were like, "Oh no, they're gonna tell us we have to leave." And he was like, "Do you want me to turn the sign light on?"
The marquee
The
on,
marquee.
yeah.
Oh,
And we were like, "Yes, please." And then he went back inside, so that was nice.
that's amazing. People are great sometimes.
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 Oh, and then
Sometimes.
Steingold just walked up and was like, hey, you guys want a bag of bagels? I'm like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
also wonderful.
Wow.
It's Steingold's Bagels. We have
Yeah.
ad copy for all of these. We should.
Southport.
Yeah, everyone go to the music box, get Steingolds, go to the Tuscan Hen.
We have had some like amazing support from.
That's also a great
Everyone,
day if
so.
you like wake up, go to Steingold's, catch a matinee at the Music Box, early dinner at the Tuscan Hen. You're in bed by 9.
Perfect.
It's wonderful. But I'm doing this Saturday. Let's do it.
Okay, we've got another question. What is something on the production side that is unexpected or that most people wouldn't know or fully understand, like the costs or the length of the days or the number of rewrites or something like that?
let Laura and Rebecca answer that.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm not sure. This is gonna sound very annoying, and I'm sorry I'm saying it. I've worked in the film industry for long enough to where I'm not sure what people don't like. What would be unexpected? I guess like there's I mean a lot of planning that goes involved and a lot of organizing. I'm not Laura. Say something about it.
I always say, I think when I talk to, and this is for people who like know nothing about film, just how much time has to go into putting something together, because it's not just like, oh, they wrote it and then they hired people and then we all showed up. It's like, okay, they wrote it, that they had to rewrite it, and then we had to find people who could work these days and then readjust those days and then make sure we had everything for that day. And it's not just like, oh, we all showed up. It's like the costumes, the props, the location. Just there's so many little things that you wouldn't even think about, because I never started thinking about things till I started getting in film. Yeah. And now it's like when I watch TV shows, I'm like, great, they had to get like 6 of the same shirt because that one kept getting bloody and they probably had to shoot this 12 times. And so, yeah, I think that's definitely something I know when I was first starting out in film that like
on
you
a
definitely
smaller,
like learn a lot. Yeah.
On a smaller like scale of that, I think it's like the amount of times you have to do anything. Like I would always hear stories about like, oh, you have to eat in a scene, you know, you're gonna want to spit it out, you wouldn't want to eat the whole thing. And instead of that, we all smoked cigarettes. We like, and you know, we were meant to smoke like half of a cigarette, but to do that, you have to smoke like 8 cigarettes right in a row and get nicotine poisoning. And just have a horrible next day.
I will say, like, I like to think I'm a pretty like prepared / like organized person, but it's like no matter how prepared you are, you're going to get to set and there's going to be like 8 things that you accidentally forgot, or that things go wrong, or someone got stuck in traffic, or someone, you know, 8 people text me where we're supposed to meet.
There's always going to be that one thing where it's just like it's completely out of your control. Like even if you planned every single thing out, there's just going to be that one thing that I was like, well, can't do anything about that.
I'll add 2 things to that too. First of all, you all brought up continuity, and not everyone probably knows what continuity is. So you have to make sure that from shot to shot, it always looks roughly the same, right? Like if there's a glass on the table, it always has to be full to the same amount and in the same exact spot. And if you pick it up and put it down, you have to pick it up and put it down in exactly the same way and put it back where it went. Because as you're editing, you might use part of one shot and part of another shot, and you need to make sure that it all looks like it's one
I will say,
we lost you.
You lost me?
Oh, I can hear you now. We couldn't hear you.
Okay. I will say our editor, who is amazing, Jazz, has edited our last like episodes. Like they've been like gotten a little. We have let continuity go a little bit on a couple of things. So they're like, we can only use these 2 takes because like nothing matched. And we were like, we're sorry. I always feel bad. I'm like, oh.
Well, and a lot of it's just like you get to the end of the day, and if you're working with a big enough crowd, it's kind of like, here's the amount of time we have.
Right.
Yeah.
You get what you get.
It's okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nolan.
Oh, I was just saying there was a scene that Rebecca filmed where it was like a split screen kind of thing, and so our DP Austin, who's not our DP Austin, he was like, okay, once I press record on this and we do 1 take of something, if you're on that side of the room, you're not allowed to come to this side of the room. Because I don't want even 2 feet within the camera. Like nobody touch anything.
Yeah, because if anything moved, then like
the whole shot was ruined. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's a tough thing. And the other thing that a lot of people don't know is filmmaking or making a web series or whatever is a lot of sitting around, because in between takes or like in between scenes, you're setting stuff up, or you're resetting it, or you're moving people around, or you're making sure that the continuity, like the glass is full again to the right place. And so that takes so much time, and you end up, they call it hurry up and wait a lot, which is exactly what it is, right? You feel like you're constantly rushing, but then you're actually just kind of like, let me look at my phone for 20 minutes. Okay, we're ready again. Great. Where were we?
It's absolutely mind-blowing that you'd think like a 10-minute episode wouldn't take, 2, maybe sometimes depending 3 full filming days of just, well, not, all put together. It's like maybe 2 days for 10 minutes.
Right.
And it's just like you don't expect that.
I know. Well, no one else has submitted a question, but I will come up with some more. Or I'll come up with one more. And then if anyone else, this is last call for questions. If anyone has questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. I would like to know how much you improvised on set versus kept to the script.
I think for the most part, I will say,
Tommy.
Tommy.
Really?
Tom, no, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Tommy is very like Amy Sherman Palladino for all those Gilmore heads out there. He likes his scripts to be very, very word perfect. So we always need to, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like a lot of our friends who are improvisers, they like look at a sketch and they like halfway memorize it because they're like, oh, we'll improvise it. But
I do a lot of wordplay.
And yeah, and then like a lot of the jokes won't come across and you don't say it word perfect. But also what you were saying about continuity earlier, there are only so many things you can actually change in a scene, because otherwise it will be impossible to edit together. So we have a couple moments. Some of them have been posted on our Instagram. Follow us at Dick's Web Series. Thank you, Corey, for Corey Drennan, who is our social media manager. She's been editing together videos and stuff for us. We have another blooper reel coming out this week of like a super cut of like our improvised lines.
It also, I think, depends on how much time we have. Because if we're like kind of in a hurry, but then there's other times where I think we're like, hey, let's try a different one for fun. Like after we get a few for continuity, and then maybe could try a different one. Like Tommy was doing that a lot in one of our blooper reels. For a party burglar. So.
I have nothing against that, for the record.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I know.
No.
I'm not saying you're like a stickler.
No, I think the way we usually improvise is like that. It'll be like a dialogue, like a quick dialogue exchange or a joke, and we'll just be like, do as many versions as we have time for. Let's see if we can find anything funnier than the written joke. I will say in that though, I'm like, for me, one of the like allures of writing noir, of writing this style, like it lives and dies on its dialogue and its narration. It's like every noir movie has a narrator over it. They use beautiful, terrible 40s metaphors. I mean, they're great. I was reading some today to prep for this, and I came across a couple that were like, the rain fell like dead bullets. What do you think? Or was it like, a broken heart is heavier than a dead man? A lot of death in these.
Super dark.
Yeah, very dark. I mean,
Noir is really dark.
It comes from that time, man. It comes from a turbulent time. What can I say?
Harsh lighting, harsh dialogue.
Yeah.
But truly, it's like a lot of, especially like noir romances, it's all about the speed that they're exchanging. So I like really tight dialogue too. I would improvise in noir. I was poo-pooed on that because no one wanted to do it.
Because I can't do that.
Neither of us are like.
So those are.
I mean, like I've seen maybe. I mean, you know.
You gotta watch more.
Maybe it comes off in the way I acted.
You gotta watch Kiss Me Deadly,
like
baby.
A huge...
We did watch a couple.
Yeah,
we watched Double Indemnity.
Yeah, we watched,
and we all watched Brick.
That's the classic.
Brick. There's
then,
we have
Sunset Boulevard.
The Salesman only rings
yeah.
twice, which
the
don't.
The Postman always rings twice. Yeah.
Don't watch that one.
Yeah, that was
so good.
Deeply overrated.
It was funny.
It was funny, but it was not meant to be.
It was not meant to be funny, but yeah.
I have a question. There's been a couple questions, but I have a question for Laura. Laura, what was your approach to this, given that it is kind of a stylized, or at least some of the scenes are stylized in the noir fashion? Did you have to sort of take a specific approach with that, or did you kind of just do everything more or less in your general directing style?
No. So I kind of, I think when you direct, you kind of have to tailor your normal direction and kind of feed yourself into the process of whatever project you're doing. So I was really excited to kind of come on board for this because I've never directed a noir before, but I've also always been a very big fan of noirs because I went to film school and took so many noir classes. So just was very, very excited to do something like this where it was both present day comedy with peppers of noir kind of sprinkled throughout. And so that's been very fun for me to talk to with our DP Austin about, of just like, okay, I want really harsh lighting. And I would love if we could do, in normal film world, it's always like, well, we don't want any shadows because shadows help, fuck with continuity.
Mhm.
Sorry, am I allowed to swear on this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I was like, I probably should have asked. But no, and like this, I'm like, I want really harsh shadows, and like I want like weird close-ups, and yeah, like we want smoke, and we want kind of we can do all these gritty details that we're typically not supposed to do, and very like clean, fun comedy film. So yeah, it's been super fun to kind of play with how action can play with visuals rather than just delivering the lines.
That's great. So we have a couple real questions, and then Miles Potter wants to know, Nolan, which of your first Chicago roommates was your favorite?
Man, I don't know. So no.
We
Well,
love
it's
Also,
Jordan,
huge shout out to Miles Potter, though. Honestly,
for real.
he played a part for us in one of our episodes, and I don't want to spoil it. And he was great. And then also PA'd for us a bunch of days. And he's the best. Also, huge shout out to Laura and Austin,
Yeah.
our director and DP, who
Love ya.
and Alan, the sound
for real,
person.
Alan
on
sound
sound,
guy,
baby.
yeah.
And Zan doing hair.
Oh yeah, Zanny, who's Freddie's
Got a lot of people to thank.
Freddie's
To thank.
partner, has done hair for us. She did not do it on parking garage, so that's why my hair looks bad.
I will say, to answer the question, Miles was a good bathroom mate to share a bathroom.
Wow.
Very clean.
That's
Wow.
important.
Very clean.
That's very
So-
important.
I'm gonna have to say Jordan. No.
Now I think we have 5 minutes for Miles' rebuttal.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
you
we
won him
should-
back over with all the flattery. Okay, so we have a few real questions here, and then we'll probably wrap it up. So the first one is, what is your favorite line out of the whole series to say? And you are not allowed to add any context.
Okay, this was my favorite. We filmed it recently. I won't say anything else. That's all you get. And it's, oh wait, this isn't gonna make any sense without context.
Good.
It's, someone mentions Cava and they say, it's not a boat christening in Madrid. I think I should not have given that any context.
Nope,
I
nope.
apologize.
That was the prompt.
Less context.
Anyone else?
Oh.
I'm trying to.
It's for you that you say, right? Not that anyone says.
Oh, I'd said one that
I
anyone
think
said.
you can say anyway.
Yeah, say one that anyone says, man.
That's a dumb idea, and you're dumb for having
Oh, I
had.
said it tonight.
Is my that's.
I think I wrote that.
Yeah.
You did, yeah. That is also. It's funny because it's something you would say in real life.
That's a dumb idea, and you're dumb for having
I'm.
No.
I've got one we ad-libbed, no context. Because he's my real dad.
There's.
Spoilers.
Yeah, gosh, I'm not. I can't think.
hard.
I know. There are some.
Laura, you got one?
Gosh, it's hard. It's hard because there's been so many good just like line deliveries and so many good ad-lib lines like at the very end of scenes. I really did like Nolan. He just entertained the idea I had for him to explain the joke further, where it was like he unveiled like, this needs context because there wasn't an actual line for it. It's like he unveils a villain and he's like, I don't know who this person is. And then the person's like, well, why would you know who I am? And then he's like, well, because like, in Scooby-Doo, when you like, they set up in the beginning that you know who the villain is. And then at the end, and then he kind of just keeps explaining what a Scooby-Doo episode plot looks like and how this isn't happening right now. And it was great. It made me so happy.
And then I almost broke my leg.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
But
So
I
it's
didn't.
fine. It's fine.
I did not die. So we're fine.
And then someone asked, I think this will be the. Oh, did you have one, Rebecca? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, there is one line that I say.
No context. Just go.
I have 2 X chromosomes and no need to wonder why.
Excellent.
So good.
Okay, so the last question of the night is, what are you going to do with all your free time when the series comes out?
Move to LA.
Who has free time? Like outside, even without this.
Yeah, I usually work 12 hours a day, so I will just do that. I will sleep more, I think, is the answer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sleep more. Save some money.
Yeah.
Put some money
Yeah.
aside.
Oh, you know what?
For the
Actually,
future.
Nolan and I do a thing, and I want to recommend it for everyone out there who's
Yeah.
of the drinking age and inclination. Watch movies from the late 90s, early 2000s, and play the drinking game where every time they say something that is no longer PC, call it and drink, and then internally explain to yourself why, so you like learn that rule. You're like, this is no longer acceptable, and I need to know that.
I like that this is simultaneously a damaging and also self-improvement exercise.
I mean, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
beer. You're just drinking with beer.
Speaking
Call it
of,
not PC, buddy.
I think this wasn't asked, but I'm gonna share it anyways. A fun fact: we have a couple party scenes, and one is a college party. Turns out real alcohol is cheaper than fake alcohol, so watch our extras.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow,
They-
wow.
Continuity.
They did, yeah. No, I also
Nothing
thank you
else.
everyone who came out that day.
Yeah.
It was a
Seriously.
fun day.
So much fun.
All right. Well, that concludes the Q&A. Thank you for all of the great questions from the chat. All right, let's check in and see if we raised any more money.
Whoa.
Wow.
We had
Nice.
one $100 donation come in from John Galick. So thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, John. I appreciate you, buddy. It's been forever.
That is
I don't think I
very
know you.
generous.
Thank you,
Yes,
John.
That
thank
is
you.
so nice of you.
So I would say this was a very successful evening. We had fun. We learned a lot along the way. We raised $265.
Hooray. Thank you,
Yay.
everyone.
Thank you so much for everyone who is watching. Thank you to everyone who participated tonight. And of course, thank you to our lovely Dix creators for making this piece of art and bringing us all together tonight.
Thank you, Val and Trident, by the way.
Yes,
too,
thank you for
helping us
hosting
out.
And
us.
thank you for
Yeah.
calling it art.
Yes, yeah.
Very generous.
It is art.
It is. We love it.
All right. Well, thank you so much again to everybody, and have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.